Hello and welcome to KSG News for Aspirants, starting today's current affairs topic with some good news for the UPSC aspirants. We're talking about the one-time relaxation for UPSC CSE. The centre on the 5th of February told the Supreme Court that it is agreeable to give an extra chance as a one-time relaxation to UPSC civil service aspirants who had appeared in their last attempt in the 2020 exam amid the COVID-19 pandemic and are otherwise not age barred. Relaxation only to the extent of providing one extra attempt for civil service examination, specifically limited to CSE 2021, may be granted to only those candidates who appeared for CSE 2020 as their last permissible attempt and are otherwise not age barred from appearing in CSE 2021. Now, what is it all about? In a note filed in the Apex Court, the centre said no relaxation shall be granted for CSE 2021 to those candidates who have not exhausted their permissible number of attempts or to those who are otherwise age barred from appearing in CSE 2021 as per the prescribed age limits of different categories or to any other candidate for any other reason whatsoever. This relaxation for the candidates and to the extent as prescribed above shall be a one-time relaxation only and shall apply only for appearing in CSE 2021 and shall not be treated as a precedent. The centre said that the relaxation shall not create any vested right whatsoever or any other perpetuated right on ground of parity or otherwise in favor of any other set or class of candidates at any time in future. Now, the bench is hearing a plea seeking grant of one more chance in the UPSC civil service exam to those aspirants who could not appear in the last attempt in 2020 due to the pandemic. The centre had furnished a chart in the Apex Court giving details of relaxation given by UPSC in civil services exams since its inception and had said that in 1979, 1992 and 2015 relaxations were given to the candidates due to change in patterns of examination. The bench had observed that one-time relaxation would benefit over 3,300 students without even increasing the age limit. Moving on to the other current affairs, this is related to the General Studies paper 3rd Economy. This is to do with the privatization under PSE policy. Now, railways and other government departments that undertake commercial operations with development mandate may not be privatized as these will not form part of the public enterprise policy announced in the budget for 2021 and 2022. Airport Authority of India and other major port trusts created under the Acts of Parliament will also not come under the policy. Now, what is this all about? The Public Sector Enterprises or the PSE policy divides public sector enterprises into strategic and non-strategic ones. The strategic sector includes atomic energy, space and defense, transport and telecommunications, power, petroleum, coal and other minerals, banking, insurance and financial services. In strategic sectors, bare minimum presence of existing public sector commercial enterprises at holding company level will be retained under government control. The remaining will be considered for privatization or merger or subsidiarization with other public sector enterprises or closure. Public sector enterprises in non-strategic sectors will be considered for privatization wherever feasible or else they will be considered for closure. Public sector enterprises in the nature of development and regulatory authorities, autonomous organizations, trusts, development financing institutions would also be out of the policy. Some of these institutions have been created through the Acts of Parliament. The enterprises involved in printing of notes and minting of coins such as Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India will also not come under the policy. Moving on to some other news related to the General Studies paper 3rd Economy. This is about RBI Monetary Policy Meeting. The Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee, its policy meeting on the 5th of February, decided to keep the repo rate unchanged at 4%. Inflation has eased below the tolerance level of 6%. Outlook on growth has improved significantly. This is what the RBI Governor Shaktikant Das had to say. He also added that signs of recovery have strengthened further and the list of normalizing sectors is expanding. Now, the key takeaways from this is that policy repo rate unchanged at 4%, reverse repo rate remains unchanged at 3.35%, GDP growth projected at 10.5% for the fiscal year 2022. CPI inflation target cut to 5.2% from 5.8%. Inflation eased below tolerance level of 6%. Government is to review the inflation target for RBI by March 2021. Stance of liquidity management continues to remain accommodative in line with the monetary policy. MSF and bank rate unchanged at 4.25%. RBI to form an expert panel to strengthen primary urban cooperative banks. Cash reserve ratio will be gradually restored to 4% by the 27th of May this year, and the RBI will allow retail investors to directly access the G-Sec market. In some other news, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has prepared a draft framework for the use of blockchain technology in government services and intends to use it in the areas of property record keeping, digital certificates, power distribution, health records, as well as supply chain management. All the applications of blockchain technology are likely to be explored by the government under the leadership of the IT Ministry. The draft, called the National Strategy on Blockchain, is also likely to explore the possibility of use of the technology for vaccine and medical supplies logistics management for future purposes. Virtual and digital currencies such as Bitcoin, however, have been kept out of the ambit of this framework and are unlikely to be included in the near future. Since the blockchain technology operates on a distributed ledger system which is owned by everyone, participants can read, write, or make changes to the ledger. In order to make the technology better suited to the needs of the government and that of India, the national framework has therefore suggested that the blockchain could be set up in one of the four architectures, namely public and permissionless, public but with permissions, private and permissionless, and private and with permissions. The framework draft has also cautioned about certain issues involved with the adoption of blockchain technology, such as replication of data on all nodes, lack of appropriate skills and human resources in the country, as well as threat from rogue nation-state actors. Now, blockchain data is stored on every node on the network, and hence privacy is not an inherent feature that blockchain traditionally provides. The data should be stored in such a way that the privacy of an individual is not compromised, and appropriate consent mechanisms should be adopted in line with the data protection laws. The government has been trying to explore the possibility of using the blockchain for delivery of certain state-run services for some time now. In January this year, the government think tank Niti Aayog had also, through a discussion paper, suggested the use of the distributed ledger technology for delivery of state-run services such as fertilizer subsidy disbursement and educational certificates, among the others. In some more news related to the General Studies paper Third Economy, the Reserve Bank on the 5th of February announced it will be integrating consumer grievances redressal under a single ombudsman as against three schemes working at present. There are dedicated ombudsman schemes devoted to consumer grievance redressal in banking, non-bank finance companies and digital transactions, respectively, at present. Now, what do we understand from this? To make the alternate dispute redress mechanism simpler and more responsive to the customers of regulated entities, it has been decided to implement, inter alia, integration of the three ombudsman schemes and adoption of the One Nation, One Ombudsman approach for grievance redressal. The move is intended to make the process of redress of grievances easier by enabling the customers of the banks, NBFCs and non-bank issuers of prepaid payment instruments to register their complaints under the integrated scheme with one centralized reference point. The RBI is targeting to roll out the e-integrated ombudsman scheme in June 2021. Financial consumer protection has gained significant policy priority across jurisdictions, and the RBI has been taking a slew of initiatives on the same. In line with the global initiatives on consumer protection, the RBI has taken various initiatives to strengthen the grievance redress mechanism of regulated entities. The RBI had operationalized Complaint Management System or the CMS portal as one-stop solution for alternate dispute resolution of customer complaints not resolved satisfactorily by the regulated entities. That's all for today in the KSG News for Aspirants. Stay tuned to KSG India for more informative videos. We bring you the shortest, crispiest and most concise exam-oriented videos right here on KSG India.